The Doctor himself has responded to this leaked image. I feel like this saga has been ongoing for so long, but we've got a lot to break down and uncover in today's video.
Is the rumours true about you and Billy?
Not only has the Doctor himself come forth and gone, here's my thoughts on this image, but has Russell T Davies been lying to us? Has he been keeping things from behind the scenes a complete secret? Because only the other day he said, which we covered in my last video, that he hasn't even started writing the 2026 Christmas special. But he's just said something in the latest edition of Doctor Who magazine which possibly completely contradicts this. So we're going to break down what's going on with the 2026 Christmas special as well. Gemma Redgrave has also been on the press tour for The War Between the Land and the Sea, which is the Sea Devil spin-off coming very, very soon. You can check my spoiler-free review and thoughts of the first 2 episodes. There are no spoilers in that video. It's just me giving my genuine and honest thoughts on a couple of episodes, so go and check that out after this video if that floats your boat. But why are we talking about Gemma Redgrave here? Because she keeps hinting in interviews that Kate Stewart is not going to make it out of the spin-off alive, which that would probably be a very controversial decision, and immediately people are like, that's not going to happen. But all I'll say is remember Yanto from Tortured Children of Earth. We're going to break that down soon. But let's quickly run through a couple of headlines, briefly touching on the War Between the Land and the Sea again before we fully jump into the Doctor Who discussion. The Radio Times have released their spoiler-free review of the first 2 episodes, Homo Aqua and the Plastic Apocalypse, and you'll be happy to hear, unless you're one of the miserable people that just likes complaining, that the Radio Times are reviewing this with 4 out of 5 stars. The overall vibe and reviews towards this show, obviously I've seen these first 2 episodes, and I'd say that's a fair assessment. It's not 5 stars, it's not literally the best thing ever. Like, the way I'm trying to compare it is Tortured Children of Earth is one of my favourite bits of sci-fi ever written. I think it's genuinely genius, and it ties in very nicely and it works very nicely. There was also an interview with Russell the other day where he was talking about, like, they use the same corridors, the same staircases, the same sets as Children of Earth, because it's supposed to be set in the same universe, obviously, and Colonel Pierce is one of the main characters in this, and one of the supporting characters in Children of Earth. So there's a nice universal continuity. But yeah, if you want to read the Radio Times review, go and check that out. 4 stars out of 5, that's not bad. My review, as I say, that's also up if you want to go and check it out. We're under a week away from the Sea Devil spin-off coming out. It's going to be Sunday. Soon. You know what else is soon? Echo's Destiny. Stay tuned. Keep your eyes peeled. Our fan film's coming soon, and you're going to enjoy it. Hopefully. Maybe. Probably. We've also got a couple of new promo images, which once again I'll link in the description. You can go and check them out. Some Sea Devils or Homo Aqua, and then Kate Stewart here. But yeah, let's just briefly touch on this Kate Stewart thing. Here's what Gemma Redgrave had to say.
If she survives this series...
Surely.
If she survives this series, I've had a most extraordinary time and journey with this character.
Now, I'm not being funny. I'm being realistic here. I'll walk you through my thought process. Initially, I'm like, there's no way. The outrage that would spark up if Kate Stewart was killed off. Like, she's been in Doctor Who since 2012, I believe. And if you're going to go back to the fan film she appeared in first, she's been in it since the 90s. She is such an important character. She's also said to have children, which, like, we never see them in the actual show, but they apparently exist. But would you kill a Lethbridge Stewart? But then my mind started to go, okay, Russell keeps hyping up how dramatic it is. I'm pretty sure there's a track on the War Between soundtrack called, like, The Survivor or something, and I wonder if we're going to flip the script. So you know how in classic Who, the Brigadier, it's technically to the Sea Devils, not the Silurians, but the Brigadier wipes a load of them out, makes the Doctor quite angry, but he just kills a load of Silurians. What if the Sea Devils sort of do that in reverse here? and Kate Stewart is one of the casualties. And then obviously you start thinking like Tortured Children of Earth is the closest comparison to this show, and that is so good because it has that proper shocking death of Yanto Jones, which is genuinely one of the saddest deaths in the Hooniverse. So well written, so well done. So it's not impossible. And also, like, you've got to think, like, why are Colonel Ibrahim and Kate sort of hooking up? Where's that come from? Well, if from a writing perspective, if you're going to write that, it makes it all the more sad when one of them doesn't make it out of the spin-off alive. And yeah, maybe we're overthinking this, but do let me know in the comments whether you think this should happen. Do you think it will happen? Do you think it should happen? Would you be annoyed if it happened? What are your thoughts on that? I'm 50-50. I don't know. I'd love, if it reaches the heights of Children of Earth, it would be sad to see Kate go, but you know, if she gets a Yanto-type death, absolute cinema. Russell's also mentioned this post-credit scene.
I will say, stay tuned for the very end. Keep watching.
He said, and I did clarify in my prior video, that the Doctor doesn't show up in The War Between at any point. I mean, we don't even have a current Doctor at the moment. It's still the ongoing thing of, is Billy Piper the Doctor? Is Shooty Atwood technically the Doctor? Is there another Doctor coming in? But Russell says, stay tuned for a post-credit scene. I don't really have any theories on what this could be. I think it's going to be contained within the War Between narrative. It could be a hint at 2026 Christmas special, just to keep people intrigued. That's a very Russell thing to do. But let me know in the comments what you assume this post-credit scene that Russell keeps mysteriously talking about could be. I know he says it's not the Doctor, but as a Doctor Who fan, your mind does just jump to, it's got to be the Doctor. But the Doctor didn't show up in any of Torchwood, and that's the close point of comparison here, and we don't actually have a current Doctor. But could it be like, I don't know, like Kate Stewart on the phone and there's more mentions of the Doctor? As I said in my spoiler-free review, the Doctor does get alluded to and does get name-dropped a couple of times in the spin-off. But how far would they go with it? If Kate Stewart has died, it could be quite an emotional post-credit scene to like show the TARDIS at her grave or something and we don't see who the Doctor is. Something along those lines, but we're probably way off, and I'm sure as the spin-off goes on, it will become more apparent what direction the story may be taking. But what's going on with the 2026 Christmas special? This big special that we all are still running under the assumption of will have Billy Piper, David Tennant, probably Carol Ann Ford. They've got to do something there. A lot of people were speculating that this is going to be the end for Russell and co. I'm not so sure of that anymore. As I mentioned in one of my prior videos, some of the people working on Doctor Who did say to myself and Tharies at the little preview screening thing we went to see, they did say, like, don't worry, Doctor Who's not going anywhere. One of them said, like, we're only just beginning and stuff. So whether that means Russell and team, I don't know. I'd be happy to just, to be honest, I'm just happy to see more Doctor Who. Okay, it doesn't particularly matter in this moment to me who it is writing, as long as it's very good and fun. Like, that's what I'm here for. But Russell has returned to do a sort of probably one-off edition. Maybe it's going to continue, because he used to do these columns in Doctor Who magazine every edition. I think it was called like The Letter from the Showrunner, but he stopped doing them in around July, and that's when alarm bells started ringing for a lot of people going, is Russell even the showrunner? Does he want to talk about this show? What's going on with the show? But I think it's because the show was on a bit of a break. Russell's obviously been writing his show Tiptoe at the same time as well, but he's come back to Doctor Who magazine and done a 12 Days of Christmas little thing, and we won't read all of it, go and check out Doctor Who magazine, but the first one here, 12 months awaiting. Next December, I'll be here to trumpet and toot about the 2026 Christmas special. It contains these 3 words: Bafflers, Winternox, and Village. Now, those 3 words immediately mean nothing. I mean, when I read it, it sounds like, you know, like What 3 Words, where that app thing, you either know or you don't know. But this does very much imply, as most of Twitter is pointing out this morning, that Russell's actually written this episode, or started writing it, which is bizarre because he said not that long ago that he hasn't even started writing it. He said he knows what happens, so maybe this is just him knowing that these words will be included somewhere. But he says it definitely contains these 3 words, and they're very specific words. Like, he was doing this with the 60th anniversary, back when that was airing, or back when he was writing it even. He was saying, like, oh, here's little words that did end up in the final script. I think his Wild Blue Yonder ones didn't end up in the final script, but It's intriguing. Does this mean anything to anyone? Have you got any theories on what these 3 words could mean? Village, I'm wondering, like, you're going Christmas vibes, sort of Church on Ruby Road, you've got the nice little village with the church at Christmas. Is that the vibe we're going for? Because I dig that vibe as a Christmas thing. I love, like, a little village Christmas special. That would be nice. But the moment we've all been waiting for. The Doctor, Mr. Paul McGann, the actor who played the 8th Doctor, has been asked by, let me find the right people to credit, over on TikTok, SPSF, or at SPSFYT. You can go and check them out, watch the full video on their page as well. But they met Paul McGann at a Comic-Con, I think possibly London Comic-Con or Birmingham Comic-Con, at the weekend. I think Birmingham. They met Paul McGann and they asked him about, are you returning to Doctor Who? And Paul starts talking about, I mean, it's this image that we've covered so many times. I've told you I don't think it's real. I'll just play you the clip. I'll play you like an abridged version of what Paul says.
So I've got to ask you, is the rumours true about you and Billy?
It's only a rumour. How can it be anything else but a rumour? That's how rumours work.
So are you saying you're not the Doctor coming back?
No, it's only a rumour. If you see an AI picture on the internet...
Oh, is it AI?
Of course it's AI.
It looks pretty good.
It looks shit. My kid said that it's like one of your brothers has swallowed you.
And I know a lot of you will be going, he could be doing an Andrew Garfield. He says, we don't know. And he also says, like, in this industry, I'd only find out like a month or so before.
The way that show business works is that it always happens at the last minute.
But we know Bad Wolf work well in advance. We know if they were going to book him, it would be a whole big thing. But I do think we've got to take his word at face value here. Not only is the image definitely AI generated, I mean, Paul even, he's aware of it. He said it's AI.
It's the worst AI. And even Billy looks like Billy's mum. No, because it's AI. I wish it would happen.
It just can't be, in my opinion. I just don't think it's not real, okay? We've got to take Paul at face value.
And if it were happening, I'll tell you, but no, it's only...
Even a spin-off would be nice.
It'd be great, I mean, they can do it.
Yeah, of course they can.
Any of us could come back at any time.
I do think the real part of all these discussions is the special will be called either The Last Doctor or The Lost Doctor. We know from the Bad Wolf company that's been set up, it's TLD, like The Lost or The Last Doctor or something. There could be 3 other words tying in, or we could be going down the wrong trail, but I think there'll be no Paul McGann in the Christmas special, and The Last Doctor will be the title. Russell's going to play into this meta-narrative of Billie Piper isn't the Doctor, or is the Doctor, she's the final thing, we've got to find the real Doctor, Christmas special ends, new era begins, boom. I think that is the direction we're headed, but I don't know. Do you know? Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you did enjoy this video. As ever, please do remember to like, comment, subscribe and share. As I said, Doctor Who Echoes Destiny, the final part of our fan film, final big, huge, feature-long special is coming very, very soon. Stay tuned for a poster drop and air date reveal. Oh, it's going to be fun. You're going to want to see it. Hopefully. It'll be marvellous. Absolutely marvellous. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy. Cheers. Goodbye.
Don't forget to click below and subscribe to the official Confused Adipose YouTube channel.
I will destroy you! She's not seen a single episode.
No, I've watched your episodes.
Keep these sonic screwdrivers.
What else am I saying about the film? Don't watch this one.